Oh, Jesus. Hello. Hello and good evening. How are you all doing on this Friday evening? I hope you're safe and you're well. Well, welcome to another live. Tonight I'm going to do something because, as you know, we're preparing for Domestic Violence Awareness Month, which starts October 1st. So I'm kind of leading up to that. I did a Facebook live for 2 years when we were going through COVID, where I could still hold sessions with women. But that has ended as went through a lot of technical difficulties with Facebook towards the end of the 2 years and people hacking pages. It was all kind of stuff. So I kind of gave that up. So for those of you who remember me from Advocate Against Domestic Violence on Facebook, please feel welcome to come over to YouTube to my lives where I continue my passionate work. Okay. I feel that the old viewers know me. I had quite a few followers during the Facebook time, but there's going to be a lot of new viewers because I'm new on YouTube. So don't look for a lot of numbers because I am very new to this, but I'm going to be true to this. And there seems to be that spot in my glasses again. It's some kind of fog and I can't get rid of it. And I don't know why. I can't make it go away. But anyway, let's get back to it. So I felt for the new viewers, and because I'm new to the YouTube family and channel, I felt that you deserved a proper, full introduction of who I am. Because we all know that there's so many people on here talking about so many things. Some of us know what their credentials are. Some of us don't know what their credentials are. We just know that they're speaking on something, involving our world and how we live and everything. So I thought I'd use tonight before we get to October, where we get into the meat of these discussions. I thought I would give you a full introduction about me and why you can feel safe in listening to me. Okay, so I am SYYOU'REE. SYYOU'REE is a Korean word for overcomer. That's what it means. Okay. So for the new viewers who tune in, I am to date a 53-year survivor of domestic violence. So when I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself still because I've been there, I've done that, I found the way out, I never went back, and now I want to share all of that with you. Okay. So I became an advocate against domestic violence 20 years ago. I started as a volunteer at Interact of America, located in Raleigh, North Carolina. I was trained, properly trained, and tonight I'm going to read off some of my training with you. And don't worry, we ain't going to be on here too long. But anyway, I had a core professional training in domestic violence and its effect on children, rape, sexual assault, client diversity, legal process, crisis counseling, comprehensive techniques, and speakers bureau topic training. So this is the core professional training that I had in there under my legal name, which is Tony. My pen name is SYYOU'REE. Okay, so I went on to complete the Speakers Bureau topic training. I actually didn't go in for that. I went in to be a legal advocate because I retired from law enforcement. So I knew a lot about court documents, writs of habeas corpus, filing protection orders, those type of things. So I wanted to help the women fleeing domestic violence coming into the agency to fill out their papers, the ones that had never done it and had no experience with it, because it can be complicated, lengthy, and wordy, and all of that. So sometimes we could use a little assistance. So that's what I went in for. But during the training session, we had a lot of verbal interaction with questions and answers and scenarios and all kind of stuff going back and forth. I was pulled out of the training at the end of one day by the director of the program, Laura Hilton. I will never forget her. I thought I was in trouble. I thought I said something wrong. But when she pulled me into her office, she said, you signed up to volunteer to be a legal advocate to help the women fill out their protection orders and things. So she says, no, I want to do something else with you. And I said, what? And she says, I'm going to put you in our Speakers Bureau topic training program, and you're going to go out into the world and speak about this agency. So ladies, see how one thing can lead to another. I wasn't even expecting that. I always knew I had a voice. I always knew I could articulate words pretty good, but I never thought that of being a public speaker. So that's why I say never be afraid to step out on something, because stepping out on that could lead to something else. I had no idea that was going to happen. So anyway, she told me that, and I agreed, and I went on to complete the training in the agency, and they sent me out to educate the public, private sector. I've spoken at hospital conference rooms, board rooms, different places, because domestic violence also goes on in the workplace. You got people bullying and picking on people, and that's a whole nother subject, but it goes on in the workplace also. I went on to speak at probation release programs and with college students at North Carolina Central University on the subject of domestic violence. And let's never forget, I'm a survivor. So I knew firsthand what they were dealing with and what they were feeling, because I dealt with it and I felt it. Okay, it was many years ago, but it happened nevertheless. Okay, so I'm also, and I mentioned this before, but for the new viewers, like I said, new people coming on that didn't hear it. Okay, I'm a 3-time published author with my first book titled A Woman Before My Time, which I published in 2009. My first book written on domestic violence, about domestic violence, growing up in domestic violence, how it affects your whole life. But I don't want to give the story away. You got to get the book to read it. And then I went on to volunteer years later. I ended up moving to Georgia, and I went on to volunteer at Partnerships Against Domestic Violence in Atlanta, Georgia. I started in the administrative offices as an intake person. That's someone who takes people coming in, fill out the papers and get them into the safe house. And everything. And I went on, I did that for a while. And then, I'm a hands-on person. I started driving the vans. We had pickup points when the women would call in, when they were running from somebody or somewhere. We had pickup points where we would tell them to go, and we would go out and get them. So I used to drive the van to go and pick up the ladies. I also used to escort them to the Christmas parties, to the different things they had for the women and children, to keep their spirits up and keep their morales growing. So for a while, I drove the vans, to pick up the clients. And it was so much. That's why I had to write it down so that I wouldn't forget some things. And I still probably forgot something, but bear with me. Okay. Then I later went on to introduce and share my knowledge of what I learned in North Carolina in the Speakers Bureau, because I had never heard of that before. And I shared it with them, what I knew. And I had my book with me at the time with all my training in it. So I began to use it in that agency. And I soon became an event volunteer doing table and events, in parks and at festivals and all kind of things like that. And then I moved back eventually into my spot of doing public speaking for their agency, Partnerships Against Domestic Violence. My last position there, moving on, see how you can evolve. Just, sometimes you got to start somewhere and it take you somewhere. Okay. Then I moved on to become a support group leader. Some people call it a support group facilitator. They have coordinator. They have all kind of different titles for it. Okay. Where I held and coordinated group meetings with the women fleeing domestic violence. So this was up close and personal with other women. And we had talks, we had coffee, we had cake. We were real, we were honest, we were respectful. We made it known what goes on in this room stays in this room. It doesn't go any further. And a lot of respect for one another. And I really enjoyed the support groups. I really did until COVID. COVID hurt everybody, right? And it hurt us too, because we could no longer meet in person. And that was the agency rule. So the groups had to stop at that point, and I was very sad and broken about that, because I got to see some women leave out of there, get it together, got a new place, got a new life, took their children, got a house, so I miss the interaction, the up close and personal interaction with the women. But when COVID came on the scene, that's when I started my Advocate Against Domestic Violence page on Facebook, so that I could still reach out to the women I was used to talking to and to new women who would come in. And I had quite a following on Facebook. I mean, it did really well for 2 years. And then all kinds of technical difficulties started happening. Pages started getting hacked by people, a number of things. So after the 2 years, I kind of took a break from Facebook and tried to get that together and everything. So after that, because see, I never stopped, because this is my passion. This is my work. I went on to publish my second book titled The Woman, which I published 10 years later in 2019. So you see, I had a lot of experience from 2009 to 2019. You're talking about 10 years. Okay. And a lot went into that. I hope some of you will get it and read it. I think you would enjoy it, because I do keep it real. And the more you listen to me, the more you'll find out I don't sugarcoat too much of anything, because we can't get nowhere doing that. We got to call it what it is. Okay. So after that, I published The Woman in 2019, and both my books under SYYOU'REE can be found on Amazon.com, BarnesandNobles.com, and AuthorHouse.com. They also come in ebook as well. I think the solid book sells for about $14 or something. Yeah, $14. But the ebook, which a lot of people like, I think they sell for about $3.99, something like that. But anyway, they can be found on Amazon. Both my books. Okay. And I'll tell you about my spiritual one later on, but we're not there yet, so we're not going to get into that. Okay. And I've also done workshops around Atlanta, Georgia, at different safe houses for women and children. I've spoken at plays during the intermission about domestic violence. which was really I had a good time doing that. And though I'm a retired officer of law enforcement, I have never retired my passion for women and hurting women especially. They are very special to me because I was in that position once myself. Okay. On this subject, I will talk on this subject and many others because it's a lot of things that lead up to domestic violence. It doesn't just happen. It happens, but there's a pattern to it. There's flags to it. There's things to recognize. There's things that we don't pay attention to, but that if we paid attention to, we could see what it's leading to. And that's all the stuff that's going to come out later on. So as we approach Domestic Violence Awareness Month in October, I look forward to sharing a wealth of information with you. I really do. I bring all my experience, my survivorship, and passion to this platform right here, along with any pertinent information I learn that I think will help you. I will share it. I will share it with you, and I will be passing it on through research because I do a lot of research and I listen to a lot of different clinical psychologists and psychiatrists and specialists on narcissism and all those type of things. So all of this stuff is going to get incorporated into each other as we continue on. So just hang in there with me, okay? And I'm almost done. So until next week, thank you for your time. Thank you for your viewing. And if you know, ladies, and please listen to me carefully, if you know someone struggling in a domestic violence situation or someone looking for the way out of a domestic violence situation, please share this channel with them. Please do it. And remember, domestic violence is not just a black eye, a busted lip, being punched, stomped, or drugged. Domestic violence is mental. It's emotional. It's verbal. It starts out being verbal. So it can really do a number on your brain if you're not convinced about who you are, and you're not going to let nobody change that. Because when you know what you know it. And you're going to hear me say that a lot throughout my talks. When you know what you know. And you can't act like you don't know no more, because now you know. Okay, so please share it if you know someone going through some emotional stuff, some mental stuff, some stuff that they're struggling with. And trust me, it's a lot of it going on out here behind closed doors. Don't think every situation that you see on the outskirts, on the outside, looks like the perfect situation, because you don't know what kind of hell that woman might be living in when she gets behind a closed door. I know it. I've seen it. I believe it. I know it, and I've seen it. Okay. So share this channel with them, please. And please hit the like button if you like what I'm doing, what I'm representing, what I'm talking about, what I'm going to be bringing to the table, because it's going to be good, y'all. And it's going to be tight, but it's right. That's another word you're going to hear me saying quite a bit, because I do get deep into it, So please hit your like button if you like what you're hearing. Hit the share button and share it if you think somebody is struggling. And please don't take, and I have to say this again, don't take the the feeling or the attitude of, oh, I mean, ain't nobody beating on me. I don't need this. No, it's not about that. It's not just about beating. That's the worst part of it. It's the mental, emotional, psychological stuff you go through that before you even get to that point, you know. So do share it, please. Hit the share button and share it with someone. You know, you could have a mother going through this. You can have an aunt, a sister, a niece, a cousin, a girlfriend, a coworker, you know, and you know what I'm saying. So hit the share button so that you can share it with someone that you think might benefit from these talks, because they're going to be good. I bring real stuff to the table. Ain't nothing phony. I research everything so that when I'm talking to you, I know what I'm talking about. Okay, and as a survivor, remember, I've been there. So I know, share with someone in need. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you like this channel, so it'll notify you every time a new video comes on or I do a new live, okay? And see, I didn't keep you long. That was exactly 20 minutes. And I told you I'm going to try to make it 15. I'm going to try. But it's hard sometimes to jam all this information into 5 minutes or whatever, but I'm going to try. But anyway, I hope you'll enjoy the talks, the upcoming talks. I welcome you, my old viewers, my new viewers. Come on over from Facebook when you get the word, when you find out. Come on over. You're welcome. I'd love to have you back and everything. And I want you all to have a safe and blessed weekend. Okay. And I am SYYOU'REE. And I'm going to break that down for you. Okay. SY is because I sighed a lot throughout my life. YOU is because I realize now that this information and all the valleys I went through to bring me here where I am right now is for you. And the Ree is because my middle name. And it still means SYYOU'REE. You ask any Korean person, they'll tell you that means overcomer. Okay, and I am an overcomer. I have overcome a lot, okay? So just remember, I am helping us all. Because when I'm talking to you, I'm still talking to me, okay? I'm helping us all to fight our way through the darkness to find the light. So until next time, have a safe, blessed weekend. Enjoy yourself, get some rest, do something enjoyable. Until then, good night.